Elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian, and Haitians. You gotta give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, and a sincere salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the whole world, waking up the hopeful elect. And shalom to the Akwaf who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah, coming at you with another lesson in truth, facts, faith, and edification. And this is an update mark of the beast. Now this is an Edomite female who's letting you know that she got the chip. Okay? And these Edomites are going to push this chip very heavily soon because their time is running out. And they want everybody chipped. They want everybody under the ownership of them, the elites, okay? So they're going to push this. They want you chipped like cattle, man. And so Lord witness be edifying. Now this comes from the elder from Mississippi, but the brother from my account, he reposted it on his page. And I was watching it. I seen it last night when I was watching videos at work, but I never clicked on it to watch it. But I watched it a few minutes ago, watching it from the young brother from the camp page, and the spirit jumped on me to do something on it because I looked up something. So, Lord's willing, this be edifying.
This is the Tesla valet card that I can use to start my car. So I'm going to dissolve it in acetone to get the chip out so I can take the chip to encapsulate it in a biopolymer and implant it in my hand and start my car. I've noticed they take about an hour to dissolve completely. They're a little bit heavier dutier than like a hotel room key. And the antenna goes around the perimeter of the card, so you can't just cut the card in half. These Tesla key cards have no unique identifier on the card at all. So you can buy any of these cards and you can program it to any of your Tesla Model 3. So the way the process works is you would take this card and you would tap it to your Model 3 and you would write a new key and you use your master key so people can't just randomly write a new card for you to start your car. A few years ago I got this RFID implant in my hand, and it's just basic access control. If I were to tap my hand to your phone, it would automatically open a browser and go to my web page. It also works with my front door, so it's just access control. And then I pre-ordered a Tesla Model 3 a few years ago, and I heard that the key card was actually going to be an RFID-based technology to start the car. So I was like, oh, maybe I can get that information and store it to my chip and to be able to start my car. When I tried to scan and get all this information off the Tesla card, I was thinking, oh, hey, I can get a lot of information about the Java applet that it runs on, but I can't take that information and write it to my current chip. So it's pretty secure. Good job, Tesla. So I was like, I'm just going to take the chip that I have in my valet card and encapsulate it and implant that one in my hand. Mel is the person that started Dangerous Things. And the chip is very much similar. He went to his vet, and it's the same chip to track for your dog. And he said, well, if it's safe enough for me, it's safe enough for my pet. So I kind of roped him into my Tesla hack because he's all this knowledge. And when I dissolved the chip, I sent it to him and he encapsulated it in biopolymer, which is safe to use for the body and under the skin. Talked to a few doctors. They were a little weary about doing this because it's kind of a questionable thing. End up finding a guy that does body modifications and things like that. He's very familiar with the process and sterilizing everything and the biopolymer and the flex and how it needs to be installed. If anyone is like a hardware hacker, they'll think this is ironic. The guy's name is Pineapple. So like the Pineapple Wi-Fi sniffer, I'm going to be having some guy named Pineapple install this chip in my hand that starts my car. They say like, oh, you can't like start your car with that. That's not secure. It won't work. And it makes me want to do it more, and not more because they say, no, you can't do it, and I want to defy them. It makes me question why. Why can't you do it that way? What are the limitations? And it actually makes me research. It's to be able to reverse engineer it, understand how it works, why it works that way, and then at the end, it's like, like going to the candy store. You're like, I did it. It's like the sword of destiny. You're like, ah.
And see, that's the thing. Convenience. And see, Jake always trending, want to do something. So Jake gonna do it, man. That's an Edomite. So no one cares about this Edomite doing that. But Jake gonna do it, man, because it's convenient and it's the new thing to do, man. Okay?
Hello everyone, Ross Fox here. I'm going to show you how my NFC and RFID implants work. This is a Samsung smart lock I've installed on the front door of my home. The way this works, I can lock the door by simply pressing my finger on the screen. Locked. Now to unlock, I wake up. I take my chip and introduce it to the reader, and it unlocks. I have replaced the key ignition in my motorcycle with an M-Gadget RFID reader. I'll show you how that works. I simply take my RFID chip in my hand and bring it to the reader. That wakes the bike up. Now I can turn it on. I have built a concealment cable which uses my RFID implant to access it. Let me show you how. First, you power the table from underneath. You scan my chip from over top. That opens the solenoid, that slip hinge, and the drawer. I have saved my business contact information in an NFC chip in my hand, which can be scanned with an NFC reader on most Android phones. Let me show you.
See, this is all fine and dandy, right? So let me get a couple precepts. Finna go to this blue letter. Cause see, this looks all cool, man. And see, this the thing, trending, man. It's all about trending, and it's for convenience, man. So I'm gonna pull up a couple of these scriptures. So this Revelation 13 and 16, and it reads, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man may buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 score and 6. Now, when you go to this word mark, which we do this over and over, repetition is the father of skill, and we must needs do so because this thing is getting hot and heavy. When you go to the word mark, the word is charagma, okay? Right here, G5480. Charagma, a stamp, an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist, which is many Antichrists, is not one, which is the badge of the followers of the elites, okay? Of the elites, the Rothschilds, thing called sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images, okay? Graven mark. It's a scratch. Let me put it up. You can't see it. It's a scratch or etching stamp as badge of servitude, okay? Now, it's an imprinted mark, a scratching or etching, meaning to go into the skin. Now, when you go to verse 18, 603 score and 6, when you click on that, Let's go to it. Right here, 603 square and 6. G5516, shy size stigma. A shy size stigma. So when you click on that, it's what it tell you. Meaning nothing. It said the meaning of which is the basis of much vain speculation, right? It say as the Greek alphabet, not really giving you much. So when you tap on G4742, right, for stigma, this is what it say. A mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belonged to, and there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. A prick, a mark, incised or punched, the recognition of ownership. Okay? Let me put it up so you can see it. Right here, a prick, a mark, incised or punched for recognition of ownership, scar of service, mark, okay? Now, the point I'm finna make, because this is what got me to go to this when I watched this video, it said mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. Okay? That's my point. Now, let's go back. Let me show you something. Show you how deep this get. It says it shows you it was a mark branded, right, to who you belong to. Now, let's go to Deuteronomy. Let's go to Deuteronomy 15 and 17. And what I just read to you is in Deuteronomy to show who you belong to, what master owned you. Okay? Deuteronomy 15 and 17. Then thou shalt make an awl and thrust it through his ear unto the door, and he shall be thy servant forever, and also unto thy maidservant shalt thou do likewise. So let me go up and read 16. And it shall be, if he say unto thee, I will not go away from thee, because he loved thee, and thine house because he is well with thee, meaning the servant, right? Because you supposed to work them you can work them for 6 years and you can let them go in the 7th year. But if they don't want to leave, this is what the master must do. Then thou shalt take an awl and thrust it through his ear unto the door, and he shall be thy servant forever, and also unto thy maiden servant thou shalt do likewise. So these elites want to own you, man. Okay? So if you take the Rfid microchip, you'll be owned by the elites. Let's look up the word all. The word all, I'm going to play it.
Strong's H.
Salakia.
Strong's H, 4836. Mafsea.
Okay. And all Oh, it don't really got much. It say, oh, boring instrument. It really don't got much. But it's for you bore their ear through with an all, right? For what? For ownership, okay? Nah, you can go more into it and dig in more. But then thou shalt take an awl and thrust it through his ear unto the door, and he shall be thy servant forever. Rulership, ownership, okay? So now when you go to, for make another point, when you go to Exodus 21:6, this is what it say. Exodus 21:6. Oh, my camera kind of blurry. It reads, then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. Okay? Ownership, right? Now, another one of my verses I love to go to, because the apostles and elders brought this out years ago, is Isaiah 36:6. Let's go to this. Isaiah 36:6. They tripping. Let me go back. And I'll punch it in here. Isaiah 36:6. Now watch what this say. It reads, lo, thou trusted in the staff of this broken reed. What's the broken reed? North America, Babylon the Great. Okay? The city of confusion is broken down. Okay? Lo, thou trusted in the staff of this broken reed, right? On Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. Now, this is modern day Egypt. This is spiritual Egypt. So it's talking about all you who trust in North America, Babylon the Great. You're going to lean on it, and your hand going to be pierced, right? So when you go to that word pierce here, it say H5344. Look what this say. To pierce, bore, a point, perforate, to pierce, bore, to prick of, designate, to be pricked of, be designated, be specific, be specified, to curse, blaspheme, right? To perforate with more or less violence, to specify, designate, appoint, bore, curse, express, withholds, name, pierce, strike through, right? To prick of, to pierce, bore, appoint, be specified as what? Servitude, man. Ownership, okay? Now, when you go to Leviticus, you go to Leviticus 19. and 28. That's what it say. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord Yahweh. Now look at word marks in Leviticus 19:28. Because see, this is important, man. This is why all these jakes and these camps that's talking about the mark of the beast is not the RFID microchip. They going off, man. Now that word mark in Leviticus 19 and 28 is qua, okay? This what it say, qua. Incision, imprinted, tattoo mark. Incision, imprinted, tattoo mark. Now I got one more I like to go to. It's 1 Timothy. 1 Timothy 6 and 10. See what this say. It won't come out like that, okay? Let me go back. So all these marks link together, man. And if you take that, you're going to be owned by the elites because they want to sit in the seat of the Most High. They want to own you, man, like cattle, okay? 1 Timothy 6 and 10. And this the problem because it said in Revelation 13 and 16 that you should not buy or sell only if you had a mark, right? So having the mark, meaning you going to buy, you trying to eat and buy for you or your family, your kids, whatever. And the only way you can do that if you have funds. You got to have money. Okay, FRN. So this 1 Timothy 6 and 10. For the love of money is the root to all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. What's one of the sorrows of being pierced? Let's look it up. Let's look it up. Pierced. G4044. Let's see what it say. To pierce through, to torture one's soul with sorrows. And who's going to eventually torture your soul with sorrows? Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, if you take that chip, man. Okay? Look at this. To pierce through, to torture one's soul with sorrow, man. It say to penetrate entirely, pierce through. So if you take the RFID microchip, man, because you got to have money, right? You got to eat. So you're going to do what? You're going to take the RFID microchip. Because what does the scripture say? For the love of money is the root of all evil. Okay? Which, while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. That main sorrow is getting pierced, man, with the RFID microchip. And just like Isaiah 36 and 6 say, if you trust in Babylon the Great, you're going to pierce yourself through, man, because you got the love for money in your heart, in your spirit, right? 1 John 2 and 15 say, lust not after the cares of this world, man. Okay? Matter of fact, let me read that. See if it'll pull it up. 1 John 2 and 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Okay? Let me see if I can pull something else up. So if you trust in this society, man, you're going to pierce yourself through with many sorrows, man. Because you're going to try to provide some kind of way for your family to eat. Right? This is James chapter 4, verse 4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God, with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of power. You is the enemy of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Okay? Now, the Lord say you are an enemy if you love the world, man. If you're a friend of the world. Watch this. This is Luke 19 and 27. Precept to James 4 and 4. This if you a friend of the world, man. Luke 19 and 24. The Lord said, if you're a friend of the world, then you are an enemy to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Luke 19 and 24. But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them. Because if you take the Rfid microchip, you want Esau, Edom, the elite to reign over you. But those my enemies, which are not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. Because you'll be an enemy to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Okay? So, listen, man. Trusting in Esau, Edom, loving after the cares of this world, man, you will be destroyed, man. Thus saith the Lord. Because what? Oh, matter of fact, let me read it. This is Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 12. And it reads, wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon. So you trust in this system of Esau, Edom. That's the problem with Jacob. And you're going to be destroyed. Because as Deuteronomy 15 and 17 and Exodus 21 and 6 say, anytime a man paid a servant to work for him, if that servant didn't want to leave that master, he was bored through the ear with an awl, and he became his forever, man. Okay? When we came out of Egypt, did not the Israelites have earrings, man? Okay? How did they make the golden calf in the wilderness, man? Aaron collected all the earrings from the men and the women, man, to make a golden calf, man. Okay? And you know the calf had to be pretty big because it was millions upon millions of Israelites in the wilderness, man. But the point is, they had their ears bored through. Why? Because they was servants of Pharaoh, man. Okay? Ownership. So if you take this Rfid microchip, you will be destroyed, man. This is Revelation 14. Must needs be read. Revelation 14 and 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in their forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, which is poured out without mixture. That means concentrated, man. Okay? Into the cup of his indignation, which is righteous anger, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Okay? And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Listen, man. If you take that, you will be destroyed. Revelation 16 and 3. And the second angel put out his vial upon the sea, and it became as blood of the dead Salaki, Revelation 16:2. I'm gonna start at 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seventh angel, go your ways and pour out your vials of wrath on the power, of wrath or power upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. Okay? It's a noisome and grievous sore, man. So if you take the Rfid microchip, you will be destroyed, man. You will be destroyed, man. It's a fire and brimstone, meaning the Lord got a missile with your name on it, man. Okay? Because a lot of Jays gonna die by famine, race riot, concentration camps, martial law. They're gonna be eating each other, cannibalism coming back. But taking the Rfid microchip, you have a missile with your name on it, man. Okay? If you 2/3, you're gonna die anyway. A wicked, grievous death. It might be teeth of wild beasts. It may be from your neighbor, by the hand of your neighbor. It might be from an Edomite. But taking the Rfid microchip, you have a special judgment, man, which is fire and brimstone. Hey, so Lord, witness and edifying, got to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikah Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, and a sincere salutation to all the Akim, pushing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, waking up the hope for the elect. Shalom to the Akwa who are listening and learning. Amen. Hey, this chip is getting pushed heavy, man. Okay? It's getting pushed heavy, man. Shalom.